said earlier, if Obi is not made the presidential candidate in the coalition, then it is already dead on arrival.
All right, guys, welcome to my channel, guys. So it's now getting to the hearts of Nigerians that Atiku wants to take over the new ADC party, all right? You know, due to the level of political gurus that has been found in that particular party, and that ADC is actually being headed by Atiku, and because of that, he wants to take advantage to overrun Obi, but thereby coming out as the presidential candidate of that particular party. But then Nigerians are saying that P2B is the only presidential candidate that they are willing to support because of his visions for the people. You guys to pay attention to everything that happened in the process. Whereas some also are saying that anything that makes P2B not to come out as a presidential candidate from ADC, that party is going to be dead on arrival, no matter the amount of political gurus we have in the group, because most of those political gurus, that the reasons why Nigerians are actually looking to support that particular party is the presence. Yes, the presence of P2B, but there anything that makes P2B to leave the party for another, that is definitely going to be dead on arrival. So let's pay attention to all the detailed update that this video produces. And I'll be right back on same update.
And how the Julius Abure faction of the Labour Party responded to that last Thursday by giving him 48 hours to resign from the party. One question I asked then was, why not expel him? Of course, did you know that the Nenadi Usman Caretaker Committee came out to say that Peter Obi did speak with them and that they endorsed his joining the ADC opposition coalition. Right now, he said he remains a member of the Labour Party. But what is your assessment of this? Doesn't he seem to be one leg in and one leg out? Especially since he has a presidential ambition under the ADC in 2027.
Well, there is no ambiguity in what is going on. His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, the leader of our party, the Labour Party, is still a member of the Labour Party. In fact, he's our leader in the Labour Party. By the Umuahia meeting of the NEC that appointed the caretaker committee of the Labour Party, led by distinguished Senator Nenadi Usman and Senator Darlington as secretary, this caretaker committee has, is the rightful official of the Labour Party. And so nobody has got the single right in the party to pronounce an expulsion on the leader of our party, that is Mr. Peter Obi, or any other person for now. And so please just discountenance that one. These are not even the issues. Maybe the issue is about the coalition and what it stands for and where we're headed as members of the party, as leaders of the party, and in relation to the coalition. I think that is the issue right now.
Being in the ADC, does that mean we might see you as well saying that you actually want to join that opposition coalition? Because like you said, Peter Obi is the leader of the Labour Party, but right now he's fraternizing with the opposition coalition under the ADC. Is that not enough for those in the Labour Party to actually be wary or to be sad or to be annoyed, like Julius Abure obviously is?
No, you see, the reasons that make everyone to be in that coalition, different reasons, different people there have different reasons. For Peter Obi, his job is not just about removing President Bola Tinubu from office, no. Peter Obi, from day one, when he started his campaigns as a presidential candidate in 2023, from day one, in 2022, 2023, he made it known that this is what he has. This is his own vision and mission, as he campaigns to be president of the nation. He stressed it that he wants to see a Nigeria that moves from consumption to production. He wants to see a Nigeria that is lifted out of poverty, and many more. So it is about somebody who has a clear vision of what his leadership wants to take the country to. It's not about an angry person that is just trying to remove another leader without an idea of what he wants to be. So he is still a member of the Labour Party. But because the Labour Party, just like any other party, even the PDP or any other party, is actually shaking in its foundation, and he has to contest under a political party. So if there is a coming together of groups of people, and they call him, and they are looking for alternatives, and they are looking for ways of getting a political party that he can realize this ambition and give Nigeria the required leadership that we need in this 21st century. And so there's nothing wrong in having that discussion and exploring those possibilities. So I think he's exploring possibilities in that coalition. It is not that he has left the Labour Party and he is with ADC, but he's exploring that possibility because he knows that as a person, Nigerians believe in him. Nigerians believe in his performance. Nigerians believe in his vision. Nigerians believe in his credibility and suitability. And this was tested in the last election, where he picked a party that didn't have any structures, and everybody knew about it. And the party was not known, but he pulled over 6 million votes, just like others that have been there. So I think it is good to explore any avenue that will give Nigerians their voice, their franchise to vote and get the right leader that will take Nigeria out of this predicament we have found ourselves.
Does that mean you approve of his alliance with former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai? Quite a number of Nigerians are saying as much as they love Obi, as much as they love Atiku, as much as they're ready to rally around these men, that where they draw the line is actually Nasir El-Rufai. There are people who see him as an extremist. There are people who talk about the events that happened in Southern Kaduna during his administration. You are the past president of the Southern Kaduna People's Union. I would like you to throw more light on that and your own personal sentiment towards him. Does it mean that there are people who do not mind if Obi should rub shoulders with these people as long as they claim that they want to save Nigeria? Even though there are certain Nigerians who also feel that many of these people are the people who put us where we are today.
I have clearly stated this, even at the beginning of our discussion, that everyone that you see there is at the coalition for their own reasons, for their own particular reasons and their own particular interest. But that of Peter Obi, I can tell you, as a member of the Labour Party who was associated with him, is a different one. Now, talking about people like former Governor Nasir El-Rufai of our state, of course, it is true that many people are not very okay with him being there and leading the process because of his antecedents, his past history. However, the coming together of these people, like I said, is that they're exploring a platform. And for Peter Obi, it's a platform to realize his vision. If that is a platform that will make him to realize his vision. Peter Obi is not there. He has never said that he's just there to remove President Tinubu. No. If it's just about removal of President Tinubu, he's there to be elected president so that he can implement his vision. He can implement what he thinks he has in stock for Nigeria as a leader. He is there. If he's elected president, he has a clear vision of what he wants to do. So his own is different. But if you flip back to people like El-Rufai, who has not hidden his intention that he is there to just remove President Tinubu, and whether the suffering of Nigerians continue, I don't know. He doesn't care. But as long as Tinubu is not there, which means that he has personal scores to settle with the president. And we all know what has happened between the two of them. So Peter Obi is not there because of that. He's exploring a platform. And so the presence of El-Rufai or Atiku or any other person does not affect the direction which Mr. Peter Obi is taking. He has a clear direction where he's going, what he wants to do. He wants a platform. In Nigeria, we do not have independent candidature in the constitution. If we had that provision in the Nigerian constitution, I can tell you, Peter Obi will stand as an independent candidate, and with the teeming support he has from the Nigerian public cut across all the country, with his very wonderful outing in the last election of 2023, with the masses all queuing up behind him, I can tell you that Peter Obi will win his election as an independent candidate, last light. But because there is no such provision, he has to explore a political party, a platform that he will contest on. And because we still have issues in the Labour Party, remember that after the Supreme Court judgment, deciding on either it is Nenadi as a caretaker committee chairman of the Labour Party or Abure as a former chairman, we took this court judgment back to INEC to make pronouncement, and INEC said they will commit the certified true copy we gave them to the legal department of INEC, and they will make their pronouncement. Meanwhile, while they are setting up that, we don't want to be taken unawares, and that is why we are exploring another platform where Mr. Peter Obi, if it does not work the other way, he will find a platform that he can contest this coming 2027 election. So that is all about it. So it has nothing to do with Atiku. It has nothing to do with Peter Obi. And mind you, we in the Labour Party, we have told him clearly, we told Peter Obi, we said when we began to hear that there are proposals that he should either deputize Atiku or any other person, we said no. Number one, there is none of them whose performance exceeds that of Peter Obi. And so we know that Peter Obi is there to contest for president. Anything short of that, we will withdraw our own support base and he will be on his own. Then number two, Peter Obi as a candidate will have that there is no alliance between him. He's only exploring that as a platform.
Honorable, I was coming there to talk about the fact that a lot of Nigerians feel that his best bet of getting into Aso Rock is actually deputizing Atiku. The way they had that ticket in 2019, where he was Atiku's running mate, right? Now you're saying that the Labour Party will not even want that for Peter Obi to go and become a vice to anyone. Certain Nigerians feel, because before we come on these programs, we actually try to feel the pulse of Nigerians and conduct polls to know how the people feel about currently happening in our political sphere. So many Nigerians feel that the APC has been beating Atiku at his own game for every election cycle, and it will be easy to beat him again in 2027, while Peter Obi can still regain and surpass that momentum that he had after joining the Labour Party from towards the end of 2022 to 2023, right? But then, Atiku is a northerner. From the whole unofficial agreement, you heard Obi saying that, he can turn around the fortunes of the country in just 4 years, in just one term of presidency. And even if he doesn't win, any southerner should go for one term. Is that something that you also support? If that is the case, then Atiku should not be contesting. Certain people feel he should be playing the role of a big brother.
That is what I was just about to say, where you caught in. That from this agreement, it is a turn of the South. It is a turn of the South, Now we have a southerner in the person of Bola Tinubu, who has been there for over 2 years now. And if he finishes his 4 years, if what the coalition is working on is anything to come by, that means the presidency will still have to remain in the South, and preferably in the South-South. I mean the Southeast, because it's the Southeast that has never been given this chance since 1999. And so Peter Obi comes from the Southeast, and his outing, like I said earlier, in 2023 was so brilliant that we know that if he gets that ticket, even if it's only to complete the 4 years of the South of the Southern region, we believe that in those 4 years, Peter Obi would have changed the fortunes of this country and would have set this country on a path of development that any other leader, and would have set the structures of this country and all the institutions, would have strengthened them on a path that any other leader that comes will continue from there. And so that will be after that 2031, that it will be the turn of a northerner. And we will now look for a northerner that understands the game, that understands the politics, understands humanity, understands, development, to come in so that the country can join the Committee of Nations, not in this kind of suffering that everybody has been plunged into.
All right, then one more thing that Peter Obi said. You must have watched his interview yesterday on Channels Television. We did play an excerpt from that interview. He talked about presidential responsibility when he was asked about moving around with security. He talked about how we could not splurge billions on buying a presidential jet. Then the host asked him about moving about with security and the kind of advice that his security details would give him to die for his people. It comes to that. That means that he himself is ready to die for Nigerians if he were Nigeria's president. But then, shouldn't the president actually be trying to live for his people so that he can continue to be their leader? Because, I mean, when the president dies and is no longer on seat, things can become awry so fast, even though the vice president can't take over. Would you say that his passion for Nigeria, or the passion that he's exhibiting to say he wants to make Nigeria better, is actually being pushed to the extreme? Or is this what we need at this moment?
No, you see, if somebody say, I can die for you, it shows the extreme love and passion he has for you. It does not mean literally dying, but if it comes to dying, it means that he is ready to take the shots to die so that you can live. And it means the spirit of extreme sacrifice. And so extreme sacrifice, like if there is fire in a building and there are 1,000 people in that building, and you have firefighters, and they are ready to make that extreme sacrifice. Maybe just about 5 firefighters, and they end up taking all the risks to save 10,000 people in that building, and then 4 of the firefighters have died. I think that is the kind of sacrifice that we need. And that is what he's talking about. So he, in as much as he wants to live for Nigeria and give leadership to Nigeria, but if it means making that extreme sacrifice so that Nigeria can be placed in the path of progress and development, where suffering will not be there anymore, why all these vices that we have today will not be there anymore, where we'll join the Committee of Nations, where our economy will boom again like it used to be, honestly, where our institution will be strong again, he can make that sacrifice. And I know him, and he means it. But what again he's talking about in this extreme sacrifice, Peter Obi, like I said earlier, if it means that there is another arrangement that Peter Obi has to sacrifice, he knows that, look, taking Nigeria out of this difficult situation, and he has to sacrifice even his presidential ambition, he will do it for the sake of Nigeria. So the man is ready to sacrifice anything. And you can see it by his words. You can read his lips anytime. And you can see it by his action and even by his antecedents. Tell me, if not because of the element of Peter Obi in that coalition. If Peter Obi was not in that coalition, nobody will be talking about that coalition. Because if you take them one by one, you will see their antecedents.
You really think so? Not even with Atiku Abubakar in that coalition, not with Rotimi Amechi, not with Senator David Mark, not with Nasser El-Rufai?
I am telling you, majority of Nigerians today, if it were not because of Peter Obi in that coalition, nobody will be talking about coalition.
You know, in that coalition, Amechi has said that he can be president, and he also said the same thing Obi said last week, that if he becomes president, he would go for only one term. On the weekend, Atiku Abubakar talked about how if he becomes president, corrupt people are going to be punished. There will be no more room for corruption right there. If Amechi is declaring ambition, Atiku will be declaring ambition.
Let's not even go there. All the facts are there. You can read it in the internet. But if you take us back to 2015 when the APC came in, check each one of them that is in that coalition today. Check each one of them minus the single Senator David Mark, the former Senate President. Check each one of those leaders in that coalition and see the antecedents. They are the ones that brought us to where we are today. And they are unapologetic about it. Name any one of them.
But you still don't mind Obi working with them if you feel that they've brought us to where we are today. That's the same concerns that many Nigerians have. How can you be willing to shake hands with the person who brought you to where you are and expect that they also have the same plans like you to lift Nigerians out of poverty? How is that so?
I told you earlier that if there was what we call independent candidature in the Constitution, Obi will not even be talking about Labour Party. Obi will not talk about coalition. Obi will not talk about ADC or PDP or any party. Obi will go as an independent candidate and he will win because he has actually gained the confidence of Nigerians. But because he needs a platform, and our party, we're yet to decide, we're yet to have INEC make their pronouncement, and so he is exploring the ADC, which is another political party. Every one of them, including Atiku or any other person, they are also exploring. But I can tell you that it is Obi that people are expecting to emerge. If he emerges, then that is when Nigerian can make a sigh of relief.
Honorable, does that mean if Obi does not get the presidential ticket of the ADC coalition in 2027, would he then return to the Labour Party? Would the Labour Party accept him with open hands if that is the case? If that doesn't happen, I mean, who would the Labour Party then field in 2027?
We're watching to see what happens. If the Labour Party becomes available, we will even prefer, let me be very frank with you, we will prefer that he contests under the Labour Party because the Labour Party is a different kind of party. It's a party of the Nigerian workers, organized labor. It's a party of the masses. Is a party, even in the last outing, you could see the performance of the Labour Party. So to us, that is even our desire. But if, like I said earlier, if Obi is not made the presidential candidate in the coalition, then it is already dead on arrival.